哦，停了。
Damn.
我
Okay, so we're checking it. It takes.
我靠！我靠！这拐弯，这拐弯太行了哈！我靠！啥资助？
好了吧，赶紧买他们的股票。
买，赶紧买股票！
赶紧买股票啊！
赶紧买它！
比赛可以输，但是钱不能丢。
我去！我去，这拐弯太傻了。
对呀。
Yo, it took it 30 seconds. It ran 400. Yo, that robot BWOY ran 30 seconds for the 400 meter. That's crazy. Okay, so that female robot, right? She wasn't running as fast as the male robot ran, right? But you got to understand that the first robot who ran the 100 meter faster, well, both robots ran their run faster than Bolt can, you know what I'm saying? However, the first one, the male robot that had ran into the wall, which I'm about to play, he ran much faster than the female robot because I think they never had to try to turn it, because once you're trying to steer around a corner, then you got to slow down. But a lot of our drivers doesn't seem to get it. You know what I'm saying? They want to go around corners, overtake around corners with this high speed. Come on, lose control of the vehicle with innocent passengers. It's crazy, you know? And these are the simulations that shows you that our drivers need to learn. You know what I'm saying? It's just basic logics. Slow down, motherfucker. Yo, you notice when it's running, it would want to sound like a dog laughing, or the cartoon character from one of those old late 80s cartoon with I don't remember that character, and he was so miserable. He had a dog with him. He always has this raggedy dog with him who helps him to carry out his evil plan, right? And a lot of time they would bring him in like other cartoon where they have all the Looney Tunes character. They would have him in it. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name, that character, right? But he's always like, he has this saying like, drats, drats, drats. He's always miserable. You know, it's so when this robot here is running, it sounds like that cartoon character dog that he has with him all the time. That's how he laughs. It's like, like, you know, just as how the robot feet sound when it's running. Look. This is the cartoon character, as I've been telling you about, that the robot sprinting feet be sounding like when it's running. You notice how the dog name is Motley, right? And the owner of the dog, this is a dog, his name is Motley. And this cartoon character guy, his name is Dick Dastardly, like bastard, right? He's Dick Dastardly. Yeah, so that's how the cartoon does, you know. It chooses some bad word and name the characters from it if they have that type of, you know, behavior. Yeah, so that is Dick Dastardly, because he's a bastard, you know. But he's more of a D, you know. Yeah. So they even Google gave us the exact breed of what this dog is too. You know, it's a hunting type mongrel mixed with like 3 other type breed. You know, yo, cartoons are serious. They're very detailed. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no joke. And it may just made from real life events, occurrence, or whatever. You know? Yeah. Cause, hey, yeah, my people, them say my evil, my evil, but no believe, we no believe, they cannot reason, yeah, say, yeah, mad thing, though, though, watching my people, judge, I know, I see, these elites, the ruling, the governing body of the world, yo, them have to try test the best way forward from Jamaica on the track. You see me? Yeah, we're not talking about tracks and record. We're talking about track and feel. Cause you know, so when you talk about the best on tracks and records, a Vybz Kartel. And we're not talking about Bolt when we say tracks and record, cause Bolt is officially the king, track and feel. So the main governing rulers of the earth, them select and had to. They had no other choice but to select Usain Bolt and, you know, them try to make up some robot for defeat the mankind speed. You know what I mean? And Judge, I know, may I tell you, but we see some, we see some, we see some negativity in them robot. You see me malfunctioning. But trust me, these robots are run well left bolt. See? Now we have to get into it because me I tell you say, I kind of lost touch for words right now. Zin, but me I tell you a serious thing. We're going into the age of Terminator, the universe attack, right? We're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, the real Terminator, is me, versus the Exterminator. Because the Exterminator, right, is the ones who terminate the machines, right? That is it. The Terminator probably terminate the machine, and the exterminator, I don't know. That's gonna drive me wild now. You know what I'm saying? But we need someone to exterminate these machinery. We're entering the age of cyborgs, half man, half robots. You know, until we're complete robots being you know, taken over by this AI intelligence, their spirit, right? They're demons. They're demons because when you're to ask, where does this intelligence come from? Where do you think it comes from? What is it that is mimicking human intelligence that they call AI? Because that is what they said that this AI do, is mimic human intelligence and process things much faster than human, store much information, you know, than human, but it's a devil thing, bro. So try to stay as human as possible so that you could see God. Okay? Now, shout out to Usain Bolt. We're going to have to get into this now. Okay, and the post is from a username called Made in Jamaica 876 on Yard Hype. I'm not familiar with Yard Hype. Big up Yard Hype. I them take most of my content from. So the post captioned that this Chinese robot is reportedly faster than Usain Bolt. Jaja no. Rocky Tam Tam and Colt. Different than Usain Bolt. You see what I say? Alright, we're going at this fast. We should have going at something else before my father there said no. Yeah. So let me look for something. Yeah, my people, what you know? So listen what this white man say about our black Usain Bolt. Zin? For show you how far his influence goes. Okay? Now, watch this. Let's play this.
Usain Bolt, the greatest athlete who ever lived, and I'll tell you why the argument starts and ends here. Every sport has its greatest. Ali, Gretzky, Federer, Phelps, Jordan, and many others. Too many to...
Okay, so let me see there. Okay, so he said Ali, right? Now if you focus your eyes down here, okay, you see Ali first, who is Muhammad Ali, the best boxer, and this is Wayne Gretzky, that is ice hockey, the best ice hockey player. I think he is from Canada. I think he played for the Toronto Maple Leaf. You know, I was a big hockey fan there in Canada. You know what I'm saying? I played ice hockey and roller blade hockey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, on the tar, on the asphalt. Now, Federa is, I don't remember that name. He's going to have to remind us. And Michael Phelps, he's the best swimmer. Michael Jordan, basketballer, and many others. And this guy put Usain Bolt over all of them because speed is the main thing. I show speed is the main thing when it comes to the most essential talent or component a sports player would need in almost any sporting event, and especially the main sporting event that is mostly and widely respected. Speed is one of the main components that is needed to be acquired in order to be considered great in like football, basketball. Speed and agility is definitely what you'd need to excel in majority of the most you know the most appreciated sports, you know, the most viewed sports, the most supported sports. Speed is what is required, you know what I'm saying? And Bolt has got all the speed in the world. And that is why we see in Bolt been practicing and having a few tryouts with the English Premier League football players, you know what I'm saying? Which is a great look for us to see from Jamaica. And I'm sure it's inspiring to a lot of other outside of Jamaica as well to see that Usain Bolt have made it so major in life in the world. And it's just so sad that it's our current government choose him as the victim to rob his 12 million US dollars, right? In some Ponzi scheme that these governments and high society people had going on. And because um, our government are part of it, why Bold thought it was safe, but they only presented the Ponzi scheme as something, reliable and, you know, something that is respectable and reputable and safe and for you to feel secure because they have high official government bodies of people who are a part of it. So they had Bolt feeling safe. But they never like Bolt from the get-go, and that is why I'm always here teaching you how to read the signs and wonders of the earth, to know where you belong, where you should feel safe, and how to see the signs and red flags. Because ever since Usain Bolt had made it to fame and he had gotten a house uptown amongst the rich, the first party Usain Bolt had threw, there was so many complaints from his rich neighbors. Like they never wanted him up there. They rebelled. They called him a pepper grain head. I was there. I went up that place there on the hill where Usain Bolt, and I knew a couple people up there who are producers, artists, you know, and they called Usain Bolt pepper green head. You know what I'm saying? Like they're saying that he'll still be that pepper green head person, you know, and it's just crazy. But those hate wasn't coming from the producers that I know. They're the ones who told me everything that, you know, was going on up there and what was being said by their family, friends. You know, it's just like the Mississippi situation with Nolan Xavier Wells and you know, the cover up of him being unalive by some white sinister group of people who should be and were thought to be Nolan Xavier Wells' friend. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, they were all snakes. Okay, now let's see what this guy got to say.
Sport has its greatest. Ali, Gretzky, Federer, Phelps, Jordan, and many others. Too many to mention. But Bolt ran faster than any human being has ever lived, and that is the foundation of everything. Speed is the purest form of human athleticism, raw, unfiltered, no tactics, no equipment, no team, just a human being against a clock, and nobody in the history of the planet has ever been that clock.
Well, him says speed, you can't really, him say not really consist of tactics, but there's statics involved. Because Usain Bolt wasn't that fast until he met the coach who had passed the other day. I think his name is Coach Francis, right? I don't remember his first name, right? But I had covered a vlog about his death, you know, and I never liked how he treated Elaine Thompson, so I had said some things that people may not have liked who really looked up and appreciate the likes of Coach Francis. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely has a lot of secrecy and tactics that could improve any track and field athlete to improve their speed, their time, and their professionalism. But not because you're a great coach make you a great person. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get back into this.
Like Usain. 9.58 seconds in Berlin, 2009, still the 100-metre world record 17 years later, not even close to being broken. 1919 in the 200, same night, same stadium, 2 world records in one evening. At 6'5", his start was always going to be harder than everyone else, but once he hit top speed, that stride length was untouchable. He wrote what a sprinter could look like. 3 consecutive Olympics, 2008, 2012, and Rio in 2016. Gold in the 100 metres at every single one, gold in the 200 metres at every single one. 8 Olympic golds, dominant across 3 consecutive games for nearly a decade, the most decorated sprinter in Olympic history. The men he beat weren't just good, they were the best in the world. Tyson Gay, Asafa Powell, Justin Gatlin, world record holders, Olympic champions, men who dedicate their entire lives to running faster than everyone else on earth. Bolt beat them all repeatedly, convincingly, and occasionally while celebrating the finishing line. He crossed the finishing line in Berlin, pointed at the sky before anyone else had even finished. He wasn't racing the field, he was racing history. Will this always be subjective? Of course, absolutely. You might pick Ali, you might pick Phelps, Jordan might be your jam. I'm putting my stake in the sand and going for Usain. Come at me.
Too.
Usain Bolt, the greatest athlete who ever lived. And that's the fucking vibe today, baby. Usain.
Yeah, Usain Bolt over all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to definitely choose Usain Bolt over all. And in a lot of my vlogs, I really, put a lot of energy out for Bolt because it's crazy how I remember Bolt had the entire Jamaica focusing on the TV screen or radio just to hear what was going on with his race and only to see how Jamaicans laugh and ridicule the whole entire situation of him losing 12 million USD. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Jamaicans don't care about him, who defend the government, who showed no interest, no authority was displayed in, showing some sort of accountability for helping to seek out how Usain Bolt funds had been vanished. You know what I'm saying? So we're in the worst time, and make sure y'all go stream my music on Apple Music or Spotify. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a song on that album called Money Bag, and that's my old song that a producer had put out without my knowledge. Okay, so I recently found out that I got a bunch of old music, right? As an album titled Money Bag, and the album is with my old name, right? Congo B, CONGO space BEE, right? BEE, yeah, Congo B. Go check out the Money Bag album on Apple or Spotify. All right, I got a song on it saying, we're going through the roughest time. So we're going through the toughest time. Yes, I'm overheated like a Jeep. It's got no food, can't fucking fine. We're going through the roughest time. We're going through the toughest time. Yes, I'm overheated like a Jeep. It's got no food, can't. You know what I'm saying? Lyrics we're fixing. Practice this thing for the siblings. Living in the system, all Chris him. Have a glistening thing whistling. Now listen, king. For prison visiting for indiscipline. Sizzling, miss for the christening. It's sickening for sewer crippled bin pissing in. It's riveting, maybe blessed for be drizzling. If you're listening, when I sing. Yeah, that album is crazy. It started with a song that I made called Bank Robbery. But I found out that this producer who secretly put out my songs and made that album right, with a compilations of my songs. He changed the name of the songs that I had chose to title them. Bastard. But I still commend some of what he done because I never thought that I would ever live to hear them music again. So make sure y'all check it out. I'm gonna put the link in the video. Y'all can go see. Y'all know how that goes. Yeah. We gonna end it here. Shout out to Usain Bolt and Chinese, and shout out to the white man. Right? Black man, Chinese man, and coolie man. See? Alright, we'll see something there. So the post read, right? Okay, so the post read that this Superman robot from China can allegedly outrun Usain Bolt. According to what is this? Is it unit? Hold on, guys. Let me see. Okay, so it said according to Unit 3, right? UNITREE. It's the name of the company, I would assume. According to Unit 3, the robot was developed in just 3 months, but can already high jump 2 meters, 6.56 feet. Damn, it could jump over Michael Jordan's head. 6 feet 5 inches, almost going 6'6". You know what I'm saying? So it not only that it can run very fast and beat Usain Bolt record, these robots can jump over a human, over a tall basketball player. That's crazy. Okay? So they're saying that it was developed in just 3 months ago. But can already high jump 2 meters. That's 6.56 feet. And achieve a top speed of 28.3 miles per hour. Okay, so the speed 28.3 miles per hour. I think okay, so it can run 12.66 Mach speed, right? Which I think also is equivalent to 28.3 mph, which is miles per hour. Okay, allegedly eclipsing
2017.
allegedly eclipsing the record of all human around the world. Damn, that's crazy. They're using robots. That was a good try, or a good this was a good tactics done by these Chinese and these robotniks. You know, it's a simulation we're living in, like the games we used to play, Mario Brothers with Mr. Robotics. So they were training us, right? The moment video games came into society, they were training us as kids to prepare for the future that they have prepared for us. The simulation we're living in. Okay? So all these Terminator movies, these Sonic, yes, it's Sonic the Hedgehog with Mr. Robotnik. Yes, so they were preparing us for these day in the future. So those who weren't good at video games, those who were just lovers of their homework and schoolwork to make their mommy proud, and you never involve or enjoy video games or find it necessary to learn to play video games and understand the game, then you're doomed. We're going to need some brilliant mind gamers to help us to traverse through this present day and the future that is ahead. Okay? Now let's look at these sprints that the robots have put on a show. Look at this. Oh damn. Yo, if that robot was to run into someone, I would never thought that the robots would really be able to go Mach speed. That's some airplane flight mode, bruh. That's crazy. And those arms that's going up, if that ever ran into you and give you one of those punches, you're getting punched at Mach speed. It's like a sonic boom once it touches. Boom! Like them guy from them Street Fighter game. You know? Yeah, sonic boom. Yeah, there's also another one. Let us see the other video. Look at this. Damn.
我去，我靠，我靠，这个拐弯，这个拐弯太行了哈！我靠，啥资助？
怎么了？赶紧买他们的股票，
买，赶紧买股票，
赶紧买股票啊！
赶紧买它。
比赛可以输，但是钱不能跌。
我去，我去，这拐弯太傻了。
对呀。
Wow. Damn.
我靠！
你家停了。
啊，停了。
Damn. Okay, so we're checking it. It takes.
我靠！我靠！这个拐弯太行了哈！我靠！啥资助？
怎么了？赶紧买他们的股票。
买，赶紧买股票。
赶紧买股票啊！
赶紧买它。
比赛可以输，但是钱不能跌。
我去，这拐弯太傻了。
对呀。
Yo, it took it 30 seconds.
你家停。
It ran 400. Yo, that robot BWOY ran 30 seconds for the 400 meter. That's crazy. While Usain Bolt would run that like 49 in his earlier prime, you know, around 49, 48, 47, you know, so like an extra 17 seconds it would have normally take Bolt to complete his 400 meter one lap around the field. But this robot, the female one, not this one here on the screen, the female one that's in the skirt in the second video we just showed, this is the male one that ran Mach speed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 1,000 crazy miles like jet plane. Crazy. Yo, this is dangerous. And for the first video that we played, you see where they had difficulties to channel it around the field. But the female robot that ran the 400 meter, they never seem to have encountered any much problems with the controls steering the robot in a circular rotation. But the first one had ran into the wall with his leg up in the air as if he was banging it, you know. Yeah, so these Chinese, man, they're going crazy. I don't know if the Chinese are really human now. You know, yo, this is crazy. Like, it makes you want to look at the Chinese differently. Like, what's with the crazy interest with robots and AI and like, it's just destruction ahead, you know what I'm saying? Why just run into destruction? But they got to do what they got to do, you know what I'm saying? The world leaders who are evil, it has been ordained. There have been books written million years ago about everything that is taking place today, and that is just it, you know what I'm saying? Yes, so we just got to try to be as human as much as possible and do not get lost or trapped in this futuristic gadgets. You know, not saying that we can't have business, you know, like teaching, or selling. You know, we could be in the business, but you know, you want to make sure that people are fully aware of the dangers and, you know, all the possible threats that these robots and AI system can cause. And, you know, it's definitely out to cause. It's definitely out to cause some things, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's look at um the the female robot in the skirt running the lap. Okay? Let's get rid of this. Shout out to Usain Bolt again, man.
我去，我靠，我靠，这个拐弯，这个拐弯太行了哈！我靠，啥资助？
好了，赶紧买他们的股票，
买，赶紧买股票，
赶紧买股票啊！
赶紧买它。
比赛可以输，但是钱不能丢。
我去，我去，这拐弯太傻了。
对呀、
Okay.
我靠，
你这样停了。
啊，停了。
Yeah. I be promoting that Pooh Shiesty album. Go check it out. All eyes on Shice. You know what I'm saying? To be a rapper and a killer at the same time ain't easy. Gotta be a last mob to breathe in. Yeah, go check that out. Ever since I got my first boy spanked, shit been easy. Gotta be the last mob to breathe in. Yeah, Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, K Carbon. They mad on the track, boy. That's one of the best rap album ever since, like forever. Trust me. That Pooh Shiesty, All Eyes on Shice, and Big 30 dropped his album. I believe it dropped or is about to, right? I'm gonna go check out Big 30 page after this. Memphis is in the lead, boy. Memphis at the top. Yeah. Shout out to all the gangsters and their ops. Yeah, so let's look at the first run, right? They couldn't even, that struggle to slow down. That started to slow down like 6 feet across the finish line. You know what I'm saying? Like once it crossed the finish line, you could tell that these people were controlling the robot. They couldn't just stop it like that or break the speed enormously, you know? So they got to work on that so that it's much safer. And these things shouldn't be built. Believe me, you know, it only makes the nation and society gets lazy. Having robots around the house doing the chores, and then they turn on us like iRobot, as Will Smith had told us. It's all a simulation. Everything is playing out as in the movie. Do you believe me or do you don't? Because if you do or you don't, you will or you won't. A robot, baby, I'm a tool, right? You can or you can't, be a man, man. No more robots in the right? I'm going to a store, Black Man, Chinaman, and Coolie Man. So let me say, there was a king, right? Yeah, and Wyclef told this story in Shatters. A Jamaican give him them story there, you know. Or don't tell me that hating know them story there too. Like how us Jamaican grew up knowing them story. Black Man, Chinaman, and Coolie Man. And there was this king saying, anybody can swim across this pool with 25 sharks in it, get to marry my daughter. And the Chinese guy said, okay, I could do it. Chinese guy went in there, thought that he could make tuna sandwiches out of them sharks, but he was made into the sandwich by the sharks and they had him. So the white man said, my turn. The white man, you know, is brave and courageous and can be seen as dumb when it comes to wildlife. You know what I'm saying? They go crazy. So the white man jump in and he's went in with his shotgun. Pow, pow, pow. He shot as many as he could, but the sharks get him, you know. Started screaming. He died. Now the black man, when the black man turn had came, oh my goodness, the marriage was already done. The black man was inside this girl ear, telling her a lot of things and how he loves her, and you know what I'm saying? And by the time the black man and the Chinese man had tryouts for the shark contest and they had failed, the black man already had married the king's daughter, right? So the daddy couldn't stop it, right? Yeah. So that's how all the story goes with the black man, Chinaman, and Coolie Man. The black man has to win in the story in the end, okay? That is how we were brought up with all these stories. And here you go. Usain Bolt is that black man who beat every other man. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And Michael Jordan, he's the black man that beat every other man. Muhammad Ali beat every other man. The black man beat every other man. The black man beat every other man. Every other man can't beat the black man. If the black man, then black man can. If the black can, then can. If the black man, then the black man won. If the black man got a lot of black men, the black man gotta win. The black man, the black man, the black man. I would want E40 on this track, man.